What's up, everybody? Hey, Tom Laird here, host of the Advice from a Call Center Geek podcast and founder of Expivia. For exceptional contact center outsourcing, trust Expivia. We're fully AI-driven, as all of you know, and can handle voice, email, chat, and all of your digital channels. Our 600-seat USA contact center is expert in healthcare, financial services, insurance, tech support, retail, and more. Experts on the NICE CX1 platform, we ensure seamless customer experiences. DM me or visit expiviausa.com for more.
This is Advice from a Call Center Geek, a weekly podcast with a focus on all things call center. We'll cover it all from call center operations, hiring, culture, technology, and education. We're here to give you actionable items to improve the quality of yours and your customers' experience. This is an evolving industry with creative minds and ambitious people like this guy. Not only is his passion call center operations, but he's our host. He's the CEO of Expivia Interaction Marketing Group and the Call Center Geek himself, Tom Laird.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Advice from a Call Center Geek, the call center contact center podcast, where we try to give you some actionable items to take back into your contact center, improve the overall quality, improve your agent experience, hopefully improve your customer experience as well. My name is Tom Laird. I'm the CEO here at Expivia Interaction Marketing. Expivia is a 600-seat call center outsourcer located in northwestern Pennsylvania. Almost, I guess, Merry Christmas to everybody. It's getting to that time of year, about a week or so to go, I guess 10, 11 days. Crazy how quickly this year has gone. And I think a lot of the content and things that I think about now are, what are we going to do in 2023? What are some of the things that we can improve on? What is our technology budget? And I think I've hit on some of those in the past couple of weeks. And again, if you are not following me on TikTok, I know we have some anti-TikTok people, but you got to do it. I have found that has been the best way for me to create videos, and then those videos will host there first, and then I'll bring them over to LinkedIn. Just because of the way I can create some I think really cool and unique things, and it's pretty easy to do as I'm just even driving, or if a thought comes into my head, or if somebody emails me a question, I just kind of can get some really good back and forth. One of the other things that we have been talking about here is and you've heard me say this before, is we do a weekly agent analysis, which is basically like a weekly agent overview or a review. And, we just take 10 to 15 minutes and kind of talk about specific things that we think can help the agent, right? This isn't like you're bad and you did all this terrible last week. This is to kind of take a breath, take a step back, and try to go through some of the things that, maybe they're struggling on. How do we plan them a path looking forward? Making sure everything is documented, and just, I guess the bottom line is, how can we help an agent be more successful and kind of listen to their needs as much as, we're kind of always talking at them, right? And gives them a chance to kind of, give a little back and forth. So I wanted to take you through kind of the, 4.5 or kind of 5 steps that we do, and get a little bit specific on some of the things that I think can help you do this. So again, 10 to 15 minutes a week. We have each supervisor. They're the ones that are in charge of doing this with their team. This is in lieu of or extra of the daily goals, and the daily goals should really roll into what we're about to talk about here. Right. So, the first thing is we want to review, right? We've done this every week. So we have kind of our past couple of weeks that we've, kind of talked to our agent and had conversations with them. So, again, just leave it a little bit open-ended with the agent. Let them kind of, talk if they have anything that's kind of on their mind. I think that's important. Look at what the goals were that we set for last week. And we, how I feel on goal setting. We'll touch base on that again. And I guess step number 3 here. But making sure that, there's a good communication culture between, the agent and the supervisor. I think that's the number one thing. If nothing else comes about this, there is a way to have an open dialogue, with the supervisor, with the agent, with a management person that hopefully can help and kind of have the right attitude for your culture. When we get to the reviewing part too, we want to be really specific, right? Don't want to have these generalities over like, hey, well, let's just try to do better next week. Let's give them some specific things, right? So, hey, Janie, last week we talked about, we really wanted you to recognize closing symbols or closing conversations from customers, and how can we, make sure that you're looking at those cross-sell and upsell opportunities to their fullest. I listened to 3 calls this week. They were phenomenal on you really listening to the closing signals that a customer is giving. You I think assisted them, and then you got the sale, right? So we're making huge progress, when it comes to that. So being really specific with that, hey, we talked about, we want your handle time, right? We got to get it down just a little bit, right? You're about 10 seconds over. Let's try to maybe wrap up the call a little bit quicker. What are those specific things that we can help that agent with? I think that's kind of the first step. So we're going to talk about last week, kind of give an overall review, have an open dialogue, keep this thing super light. Again, this is not, you did not hit goal last week. We're going to put you on on a proficiency plan or a probationary period, or you're going to get written up because you ruined the whole thing with this, right? This is kind of just a light kind of touch base. The only kind of deep part, I think, is number 2 kind of step is we do want to address anything. And I think, for me, it's a personality thing. I kind of, unless I'm like, if we have a huge issue and we got to be focused and we have to be serious if there's an HR or something huge comes up. But if we're talking about, Susie's been 2 minutes late for break 3 times last week, I might make a joke of that. Something with my personality, but we want to address anything that's holding that agent back, right? This used to be for us dress code. Like I was a suit guy. I've worn a suit, I guess maybe for a wedding or my dad's funeral, a couple of weeks ago, but that's about it now, right? So dress code and those things are kind of out. So it's turned into more like, is everything appropriate on a Slack channel, right? Are you keeping it kind of business-like, because sometimes things can kind of go south when you think you're talking to friends, but realize, the entire company can see what you're saying. The other thing is, again, time is huge in the contact center. And I just, the last podcast or last couple of videos I did, we talked about time. And, being late for break, I know it's 2 to 3 minutes, but when you have 300 agents and everybody's late 2 to 3 minutes, it can cause a huge issue when it comes to your workforce management. Coming into work late, not being there at all, going over on your break, those kind of things, I think can be talked about there in a lighter way than having them be written up and talked through with HR. And I think you can solve more problems here than you can when it gets to that point. And hopefully it never gets to that point because you're having these conversations. The other thing is I think you want to address things. Are they coachable, right? A lot of times agents take coaching for almost disrespect or think that, we're talking down on them. And I think that there's the things that management and supervisors need to do to maintain that as well. But, I think that's a big thing is talking to the agents about, hey, listen, I'm here to help. Right. This is kind of some of the things that we're seeing. We've been working on this stuff. I think we're making progress, but those are the kind of things that we're looking to address. So anything that can hold them back, anything that, is kind of a detriment to them and also to the organization. Again, we want to be honest and bring it to them. The third step then is our actual goal planning, right? We did it last week. Let's talk about this week. You guys know where I stand on goals. I don't want to get too deep into it because I've done, even this past week, a bunch of videos on questions on goal planning and giving goals out to agents. So, the 30-foot view of this is I believe that each goal that an agent has should be an individual goal. It should not be an overall goal. Yes, we need to know that our handle time needs to be at 6 minutes. We need to know that we need 20%, maybe cross-sell or upsell percentages on conversion. We need to know that our service level needs to be here and that our occupancy, we need to know all these metrics, right? We have to have them baselined. But, agents are not always going to be here. You're going to have agents that are like this, right? You're going to have stars. You're going to have maybe some laggards. You're going to have some newer agents. You have this whole swath of agents, right? So we want to make sure that we're not frustrating, making them, feel like I'm never going to get to this number, right? So if, let's say their handle time 7 minutes and the group is at 4 minutes, right? Well, let's talk that through. right? Let's just see for next week if we can get you to right around that 6-minute mark. Here's a couple things that I've heard on your calls that are definitely making things go a little bit longer. I know we retrained you on this little aspect. I know that you're struggling with. I think for sure we can get you down to 6 minutes, right? Again, that's a huge improvement, right? If you tell that agent to go to 7 to 4, and they need to be there in a week, maybe they leave. Maybe like, well, this is stupid, right? So again, incremental goals for each of the agents. Be very specific with what they are. For us in a BPO, all metrics are different depending on customers, right? Some are very quality. Everyone's quality driven, but that's really the only metric. So we're looking at sentiment scores. We're looking at their CSAT. We're looking at their QA scores. That's important for one client. The other client is maybe it's QA scores and it's their cross-sell, upsell percentages and their conversion numbers, right? Because they're more of a sales aspect. So it all depends on what the client is. And those are kind of the things that we train and try to teach, and then kind of put them together with these weekly agent analysis to make sure that we're trying to hit those metrics, trying to hit those goals. And then every day when you're having your morning meetings, you're talking those things through with that individual rep. You're like, all right, let's try to get like 15 seconds off today. Let's get 30 seconds off today. Here's the thing I want you to focus on today. And you're just constantly trying to help that agent get to where they need to be. The fourth step of this, I think, is vitally important and nobody talks about, or very few organizations talk about, is actual progression. How do we progress the rep or that agent? How do we know what is in their heart, what they want to do? There's some call center agents that just want to be agents. They want to do their job. They want to go home. Totally fine with that. There's others that say, hey, I want to be a team lead. I want to be a management. I want to be a call center supervisor. I want to be in client services. I'm a finance major. And I'm going to school right now, and I want to go into your accounts payable, whatever it is. Cool thing about BPO, a lot of different departments, a lot of different aspects. I want to go into QA. Let's get them on that plan, right? Let's talk about, okay, well, for a supervisor, attendance is huge. Project program knowledge is huge. Let's make sure that you understand these 4 different BPO projects and 4 different clients. We can rotate you through. And let's make sure that, you got to get your attendance a little bit better. You're averaging, 31 hours. Let's see if we can get that to 35, 36 hours over the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks. And, then you can apply for maybe a management training program. What is the role of trying to get them to where they need to be? What are some of the things that we can give them and document it, right? And that's the 5th piece here is make sure all this is documented. We have kind of a full, we use Monday.com, and we've used Monday.com, and I highly recommend it. And we do our agent analysis and all of our spreadsheets, or I shouldn't say spreadsheets, our kind of our checklists, right, for our agents and supervisors as they're going out throughout their day, making sure that we're staying on point, especially with all the work from home. You guys have heard me talk about that before. But if you can document this, and it's fun to be able to go back and to show an agent when they get frustrated, like, look how far you've come. Look how we've progressed. Like, you've done such a great job. I'm like, don't quit now. We're so close to the goal, right? Compared to what you were. If you do 5% more of what we've been doing this whole time, you're going to be there. And I think, that's a really cool way to make sure that they stay focused, that they stay kind of hungry, that they can be proud of some of the things that they've done in the past as well. And it's cool, to keep those type of documents as somebody is progressing, and you have somebody who really has bought into culture, and you can almost use those for other agents to be like, look at where Jim started, where Jim ended here. Look at all the work that he put in. We all work together, and look at what he's doing now. Now he's running the QA department. I think that stuff is really cool to talk about, and it's just basically kind of keeping your agents right on the path that I think, again, as an organization, we want really worthwhile, awesome, engaged agents, and nobody wants to fail, right? We could have some bad attitudes here or there, but overall, agents don't want to fail. So you got to give them the tools, you got to give them the help to try to get to the levels that they want to be. And I think, doing this agent analysis is a huge way. The other thing that we do as well, and I know I get some pushback here, I think the bigger the BPO or the bigger the call center, if there are a couple thousand seats, maybe it becomes a little bit more difficult, and you can do more things, kind of in an online format where maybe, an agent is looking at something 10 minutes before they log into their shift or to their screen or their program. but we try to do a weekly education, which is 1 hour off the phone. If we're super busy, it may be a half hour, right? But we will talk about things that are not program related. We'll talk about soft skills. We'll talk about, different ways that Slack can help us. We can talk about different things that, tips for, navigating our CX1 screens or anything that we built to give them kind of more insights into things. And then we'll have them give us kind of some suggestions too. So it's, again, having that back and forth. I think this can't be a top down thing. The call center is there's too many personalities, kind of on this level that this person doesn't know everything. All the knowledge a lot of times is down in here. So if we can, continue to kind of bring that up, I think it really does help with it. So again, that's quick 15-minute podcast, right, on the 5 kind of steps I think that you need to do to, have a really cool agent analysis program. I'm sure you'll be seeing this content. I'll chop some of this stuff up as we're going here over the Christmas holiday as well. But if I want to just ask kind of 2 things as well here at the end. If you've gotten to this end, I appreciate it. I think there's a lot of you who have, given me really great feedback and have really made me feel good on some of the content that we're creating. So just have a quick ask for you. If any of you are looking to outsource your contact center, your customer service work, we'd love to be in the process or in the mix with that. If you have an RFP, we'd love to be part of your RFP process. I think you know who I am. I think you know kind of what we stand for. You know the technology that we use. So, hopefully that gives you a little bit of comfort to reach out to me. If you're looking to move your telephony platform, if there's any type of technology, I'm more than happy to talk to you on the consulting side as well. There's no charge for that. Be more than happy to kind of lend my ear and my hand and hopefully some of my brain for that as well. And the last thing is, if any of you guys can go on iTunes or Spotify or any of those and post a review, probably a positive one, I would really appreciate that as well. All right, guys, 10 days before Christmas, I will definitely be doing kind of my end of year podcast next week, probably take that last week off. I coach some hoops and we're on our Christmas trip down in Orlando. So, hey, if anybody's in Orlando wants to reach out, I'd love to meet up with you guys there as well. All right. Thank you all. I will talk to all of you next week. I hope that again, added some value for you.